Okay, welcome to Roundtable at 7 o'clock. Do you have somebody for an invocation? I know you told me that you did. I was just...
Appreciate you. Thank you. So I believe this past month has been incredibly emotionally taxing for all of us. It certainly has been for me. With so much political propaganda, new directions within Scouting America, and even negativity within our communities, it can be easy to let these narratives pull us from our core values, potentially creating rifts that may have not existed before. As we continue to navigate these obstacles, I wanted to bring to you this evening a statement from Richard Wagamese, who was one of Canada's foremost Native American authors and storytellers. All that we are is a story. From the moment we are born to the time we continue on our spirit journey, we are involved in the creation of the story of our time here. It is what we are, it is what we arrive with, it is all we leave behind. We are not the things we accumulate, we are not the things we deem important, we are a story. All of us. What comes to matter then is the creation of the best possible story we can while we're here. You, me, us together. When we can do that and we take the time to share those stories with each other, we get bigger inside, we see each other, we recognize our kinship. We change the world one story at a time. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for being part of my story.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, if you'll join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, Scout oath, law, and outdoor code. Scout salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Scout sign. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. As an American, I will do my best to be clean in my outdoor manners, to be careful with fire, to be considerate in the outdoors, and conservation-minded. 2. Thank you. We're going to change it up a little bit today. We're going to do our safety moment, and then we're going to do our hot topics first, because we are very aware of our timing. So we tend to run long, so we're putting the announcements to the last. The informational, yeah, we don't need to sing a song right now. So tonight's topics are poisonous plants, introduction to outdoor online resources, and then summer planning and troop recruiting. And safety moment. Oh, we need volunteers. Somebody to take my spot.
Already? You're already leaving? As district chair?
Wait, I mean me standing up here. Ross never stood up here. Okay, go ahead, John.
Welcome, I'm John Dawson. If you all haven't signed in yet, please do. That way we keep attendance, and if you don't sign in, well, you weren't here. Exits. Restrooms are right behind here. We're going to talk a little bit about poisonous plants this month. Click. Isn't that a great picture? I'm going to keep this real simple. We're just going to talk about poison ivy, poison oak, and poison sumac. This is sort of a tenderfoot requirement. Maybe even the cubbies learn about this too. Poison ivy and poison oak are just like brother and sister, or cousins maybe, real close cousins of the same genus. You can find them at McNeil Scout Ranch at Peaceful Valley. And poison sumac is of the same family, like second cousin once removed type of thing. But primarily it's east of the Mississippi River, sort of boggy areas. But they're available in all 48 states, so you got to be real careful. It contains an irritant. The word for it, this is one I had not heard before, but there's a longer one for it too. It's called urushiol, or something like that, which affects 50 to 75% of the people and causes a rash. Now, how do you prevent doing this? Well, 3 leaves, let it be. Look where you're walking. Usually you'll find poison ivy and poison oak in disturbed areas. So when you're putting down your tent or wandering around when you're setting up camp, make sure that you look around and don't touch it, because the leaves, the flowers, the stems, the roots, all of it has this oil on it. And if it gets on you, you're going to have to wash it off with soap and water for quite a while, or use some products like Zanfel, Technu, or Ivy Wash. Those are registered trademarks. Now, hydrocortisone cream and or calamine lotion will take care of the itch, but it'll go away after time. If the rash becomes infected, or if the rash covers more than 10% of your body, see a doctor. Any questions? All right, that's my safety moment for the month. Thank you.
Thank you. I did notice that Bob was doing this, so he's already got it. And do not burn poison ivy. That's the worst way to get it. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Okay, now we're going to go on to hot topics.
How long do we have? Because I want to make sure I keep us on time.
10 minutes.
All right, I'm setting a timer.
If yeah, be quick. And you got your thing, and
All right. Okay, next slide, please. Oh,
you
I
didn't
got
give
my-
me slides.
I did.
You gave me one.
I gave you a PDF file that is all of my slides. Did we not have it up on the screen? Can
I
you
will
put it up on the
pull it up right now. I'm sorry, I didn't.
But that was my slide.
I just got the. What? That's all I remember seeing.
Okay, well, that's the first page of the document. So we're going to do it this way. I'll pull it up on here, and I'll talk about it from
Well,
here.
I can get there.
Everybody take out your cameras and take a picture. All right. So, and that's actually one of the things in my deck, and I'll talk about it. So you can use, I need to speak into here. You can use tinyurl.com, and there's other ones too, to make a URL that's easy to remember and to make a QR code. It's really common that people will use QR codes to share information because it's as easy as what I just showed you. Take a picture of the QR code and now you have the document. You just click on the picture. So, all right. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Yep.
Awesome. So there's that big QR code. And if you have anything in the document, reach out to me. I got my email in there. And let me know. So we have different categories for these links. One is national. Excuse me. So I have links to the national website, to online training that's national, mining internet resources, which is a Commissioner of Science College class that goes over all of these great internet resources. So you can check that out. High adventure camps, I have links to Philmont, Northern Tier, Seabase, the Summit, which is where Jambo is going to be this summer. Other high adventure camps like Swamp Base, Camp Emerald Bay, Melita Island. I know some people are going there this summer. Medicine Mountain Scout Ranch, they have a caving activity. That's pretty cool. Camp Baldwin Horsemanship Program. I have a link to the Scout Shop. And now I'm going to go to the troop level. So that was national, things that are specific to troops, national or local. Links to some troop resources, program suggestions. I would highly recommend checking out that program activities link.
It's right behind you.
All right, perfect. Troop leader resources, that's also very helpful for our Scoutmasters and ASMs in different units. Troop leader activities, some team building activities for your unit. NAIL, a National Advanced Youth Leadership Program, that's like NYLT, but at like Philmont. Or I think it might be at other high adventure bases as well. And NYLT, the Leadership Academy, we have it here at, and it's, we used to call it sometimes Bighorn, but it's the one that they do at PV. So I also have PAX resources too. If you want to scroll down, I know we have some cubbies here, or at least, Cub Masters and unit leaders for PAX. I have the link to Cub Scouts, the national link, advancement, activities, resources, like a Cub Chat Live thing I didn't check that to make sure it still works. Then in addition to Cubs, we also have OA. So I have some OA links. The Order of the Arrow link, High Adventure Treks, the Trading Post. I do have, for our local stuff, at the bottom for OA. Venturing, I have some links for that. Congratulations, I know a ship just formed. I got a thing from Jason Rogers on that. So I have links to venturing resources that you can see. And then I have some links specific to our council. So I have the council website, council calendar, and they've been updating that. It's really helpful. So some of the links, this is the same document, but some of the links have changed, and I did update them so that you have what's current. There was a link to fundraising, to CAP. Keep in mind that CAP, the Colorado Adventure Point, is useful for anybody that has a unit, whether that's a pack, a troop, or a crew. I don't know if the ships do anything there, but there are tons of activities, including shooting sports. There's a climbing wall. We host stuff there, so keep that in mind. That's a great place to have activities for your unit. What else do I have in the
Be a scout pen.
Yep. And that's really helpful to make sure it's updated. Because if you have a unit and you want people to come visit your unit, you need to make sure that contact information is up to date. If you have any questions, see me about that. Did you have a question?
Can we get that printed out for next roundtable?
Well, you can just click the link and print it out too, if you want. Okay. We'll make a note. Wayne, will you remind me, and we'll try to get some printouts of that.
Okay. Special needs scouting?
Yes, and you know what? We actually just covered that in the College of Commissioner Science that we had just last Saturday here. We did have some stuff on that, and what we're looking for is some people that have maybe different abilities or some special needs that need support, and so there is some resources for that as well. All right, scroll down a little bit more. Order of the Arrow at the council level, which is called the Lodge for those that aren't familiar. So I have the Lodge, an elections link for the Lodge and the Lodge calendar. What I didn't put here, and I probably should have, I apologize, to Eric, is the chapter, a chapter link. But if you go to the Lodge link, will there be chapter links there?
Actually, Paytosh.
Oh, I forgot, Mike, you took over for the chapter. So if I go to the Lodge link, is there a link to Grey Wolf? Okay, and if you, okay. Oh, I did put it under district, I'm sorry. So, well, that's good though. And if you have any questions about OA for your units, I would say reach out to Mike Paytosh, who is our new chapter advisor for the Grey Wolf chapter, which is our chapter. I do have Blackfeather District links to the website, to the calendar. I appreciate that they've been keeping the calendar up to date, which is awesome. You can sign up on your phone, and so I have things that just pop up on my phone for that. The awards dinner is going to be, I have the May, I'm sorry. I thought I updated it, but I did not. So the dinner is incorrect. The new one is, what's the date for the new dinner, for the chapter district dinner? It's in April, right?
No,
When is it?
it will be probably the May roundtable.
Okay. So it'll be May Roundtable, I'll update that. I'll make a reminder to do that. Newsletter, we have a YouTube channel. Let's see. There's the link I wanted for the chapter level, the Grey Wolf chapter link. I have that on here. And some troop resources, including like when we do red carpet event. And I didn't realize I had some stale links on here. I apologize for that. We have been doing some BMX track stuff, and so that's actually, the links I have might be incorrect.
We'll have it in a minute.
Okay, so I apologize for that. IELTS training, Randy's here, and we appreciate he heads up all that training that we do. Some PAC stuff, recruiting events. I apologize. I had a few links in here that are stale, didn't realize that. But I'm finishing up almost on time. Before I finish, is there any questions about, I just wanted to give you a big list of online resources that you can work from. Yes? What, Brandon? Yeah. Jump back to the top, please.
Tell you what, I'll take care of that right now by doing this.
Oh, okay, because it's on the deck. So, and again, I would recommend if you're planning an event for your unit or for the district or for the council, QR codes are awesome, and they can have issues, but they've worked really well for me. And having this available so that people can jump right to a document is super convenient. Any other questions? Awesome. Well, with 30 seconds to spare, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Mariana. Okay, so one of the feedbacks that we've gotten is that we go long at this section, so we're trying to be faster. But it's still important that we give you the information. So some quick announcements. Whoops. We do have the Google Calendar, and we are putting together a survey thanks to Jared Reese, who's not here tonight. But so we want your opinions. So if you use this and this link here with the form, either one, QR code or the link, you will get a survey. Yes, sir.
More than just opinions. We want your input on what you want to see. We can stand up there and yak about what we want to talk about, but that may be boring to all of you. So, if you got something you really want to hear, let us know, and we'll take care of it. We'll get her done. Thank you.
Thank you. One thing that we would like you to do, besides give us your input, is to use, we put all these presentations on the Google Calendar. So please use the Google Calendar. If there's a question, go check and you'll probably get your answer. But we do have some advancement updates. Citizenship in the Merit Badge, citizenship in Society Merit Badge was discontinued effective February 27th towards Eagle rank. If you've already started it, if you have a scout that started it, they can finish it. It will become an elective one till the end of the year. They have to finish it this year. Pardon me? As of January 1, it won't be available at all. Right. So if they've already started it, they can finish it if they finish it by the end of the calendar year. All merit badges are now online, all the requirement, all the information. We're no longer having the pamphlets. So that should help get all that information. So, am I correct, Marianne? Yes, you are. Okay. Eagle rank scout advancement. We're working on the application already. I think it's already taken care of, but it's still 21 merit badges. adult leader recognition. Please email Les, who's in the room, if you have somebody in your unit that you want to recognize. Some of these have already been determined, like District Award of Merit, but Spirit of Polaris, Outstanding Scouter for the unit, Footsteps of the Founder, things like this are still on a district level that we can give. And we are, because we had a lot of things going on, we're actually pushing back 1 month the awards dinner to May for that.
When's due dates? We have due dates yet?
Les, when you try and get it to us by by early April.
We're still trying to get the nominations decided so people know when to place their
This,
I'm struggling getting council to help me.
okay, if if you have somebody, do we have the site up yet?
We'll talk about that.
Okay, let's get it done. Okay, so you see Kevin Andrew, Terry Farnsworth, Eric Heppy, right here. Silver Beaver. The dinner is coming. It's March 24th. Doors open at 6. You show up at 5:30. 5:30. Show up at 5:30. You show up at 5.
Two things. One, if you want to tell them what Silver Beaver is, but also Michael Patosh, I think, is getting honored at the dinner.
That's right.
And with the Coleman Award winner.
Jared Reese is our Coleman Award winner, and Michael, I do not know the name of the award.
I'm the council's alumnus of the year.
Yeah! Okay, thank you. That's pretty cool. Cub Scout, Pinewood Derby. Lauren, any?
So actually, can we get this updated on the one that you showed earlier? The date is wrong. It looks like it's last year's. So this is our district Pinewood Derby. This is actually on the Scouting Colorado website now. The attachment is old, so we're trying to get that updated. But we have a QR code. If someone wants the one paper copy I brought, you're welcome to it. But we are trying to get the word out to all of our PACs and any other scouts that want to come and bring an old car. They can enter our open event. We are trying to just make this a really fun event and get a lot of
Is there
participation.
a fee?
$5.
$5, okay. That's cheap at any price. So.
All right.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You can... Rocky Mountain Train Show is coming up. So Brad Johnson asked that if he needs volunteers to help. And there also will be a merit badge that's being taught at that. And see Steve, he's got all the information. And it's over here. So there will be a merit badge being taught there.
I will be attending the Boy Scout meeting, so if you have any questions.
Okay, so he'll be at the Scout BSA discussion. Now, this really wants to show up because it keeps on going before I click it. We're going to do the BMX, the link that Greg had last year's dates. It's April 18th and May 2nd. Both are Saturdays. And it will be from 1 to 4. And it's only BMX only. There was talk about doing archery or something like that as well. That cannot happen this time. But we want you to know. And here's the RSVP. And we will send out a special email. Bill? Where are you? I lost Bill. Okay. I'll have Bill send out a special email about this. See, it doesn't want it to leave either. There we go. Now, we do have a QR code here. We have the Dino Day Camp. It's going to be June 4th and 5th at Prairie Sky Park in Lone Tree. So it's pretty right dead center of our district, unless you live where Kyle Peters lives, which is down by PV. But overall, this is a great event. Kids love it. And Mr. Davies has done a phenomenal job setting this up. Thank you. What, you just laugh?
Yes, I'm just helping.
You're just helping, but you're just helping is more than most. It's kind of like when they ask Spock, give you your best guess. I'd rather have your little help than, it's like Spock's.
I want to point out, the council runs this as one big event, so we can't really tailor things on the website. The adults that come and sign up will be charged on the website. We will refund that money when they show up. We don't charge. Same thing for staff. Staff has to pay $20 to sign up. We will reimburse that also. All the adult leaders that come out, they get a special hat because they're not going to get a hat. It'll be a white leader's hat. The kids get about a $50 size pin that they can put on their brag vests. And then we're having the archery and wrist rocket district championships, first, second, and third at each rank.
Very nice. Thank you. I guess I need new batteries. There we go. So April 1st, we'll be backpacking resources at the emergency services. March 21st, there's a state boating safety course. That will be the next slide. And then April 19th, there will be a first aid course, and that's $35. And first and third Sundays are always Scout Net.
So
Ham
it's
radio.
this Sunday for ScoutNet for Ham Radio Nights.
Okay, this Sunday.
And May 9th is the training, and we'll get that up on the website in the next week.
Okay, May 9th is the training for the ham radio. That was for people online. State boating safety course, that's one I just mentioned. And if you want to operate a boat and you're under 17, you need this. And Baloo is coming. We have the leader training, and that is May 1st and 2nd, and May 8th and 9th. If you can't make one, you can make the other. Just have to get the location. Do you know the location above? For north? Or is this?
North, I think it's up at Fort Lupton.
Okay,
But the May 1st and 2nd appears to be sold out, but we only have 12 people signed up. So I'm trying to work with Jessica to get that cleared up.
okay,
The aisles on the 1st, or the 8th and 9th, we only have 3 people signed up so far. So if you're at a troop level, we can use some more signups for people.
okay. So they need more signups for the 8th and 9th at McNeil. And then next is Wood Badge is coming up. There's still time to take care of that and sign up if you don't know about Wood Badge. That is, just talk to somebody that has beads on or the lovely neckerchief. MYLT is coming. There's 2026. It's 2 sessions because there's a jamboree coming in July. So, and it's for first class scouts 13 and above. And it could be Venture, Sea Scouts, those. Go ahead, next slide. This is the jamboree slide. I think we need to get a better one. But the jamboree is coming in July. Next. Order of the Arrow. Thank you for updating the slide. Go ahead.
So, short version, we've got elections. All right, away from the microphone. Okay, so short version, we have election season is underway. We've already had a few elections happen already. I've got some coming up. If you have not scheduled yours yet, come talk to me. If you have any questions about anything OA related, go back to the previous slide.
Hit backspace.
That's my email at the bottom, graywolfadvisor@gmail.com. If you have any questions, just email me. I can find you the answers. That's it.
Thank you. Before you go to the next slide, Asher left the room. No, there you didn't. Okay, camp cards. They are, he has a bunch of them over there. We have signs, pretty signs, and if you have signed up for camp cards, go ahead, pick them up. When do they need to be back? Probably in May?
Yeah, I believe May 18th. And if
Nice job there.
you didn't order camp cards but still want some, we do have some extra. So you can come to me after the meeting or shoot me an email, and I can get some delivered to you guys for that.
Okay,
In addition to selling them, they make great gifts, just like a little thing.
yeah, they do make good gifts, yes. Okay, next slide. District executive moment, do you have any? Because that was kind of it, wasn't it?
All right, so that's the camp cards. If you do want them, they're a little bit better of a deal this year. They're about $10, but it's over $100 value for the entire card. And there's more ripoffs and whatnot for this year. But everything was covered that I was going to talk about, the day camp and the BMX day. For the BMX day, feel free to bring a friend for the scouts. We want as many people there as possible, scouts and non-scouters, so they can get a taste of scouting and potentially sign up for your unit. So,
Thank you.
Yep.
And don't forget your investment in character, next slide, is, if you can sign that up. Our next roundtable is to be determined. We cannot meet here. We were looking originally to do the dinner. So it's in a little bit of a to be determined mode. Safety moment when we do it will be behavior around campfires. So, but we will determine everything and get it out to you. And honestly, it might even be an online one since we can't meet here. So we will work it out and make sure that you can do it. And maybe you and I can talk about recording that too. But that is it. Now we're ready for breakout. I went 2 minutes over and I apologize. I was trying. The summer planning for Cub Scouts will be in the room, or do you want them here? Cubs are in there. And then we will be doing recruitment for Scout BSA troops. We're going to be in here, and it's going to be led by, it's going to be more of a discussion, but Clay is going to do it and Eric's going to do it. So they're going to tag team it. And who's doing you're doing the Cub Scouts. So thank you guys. Let's reconvene in our appropriate rooms.
I'll see you guys, gentlemen, in a few minutes.
Do you want me to give it to whoever's leading it?
Clay.
Yeah, then what I do, then you send them back to the. What? Send them to each other, I can. Oh yeah, if you can send them to her, that's great. And I have another one, I didn't print it out, I have just an electronic copy. Okay, well just email it to you. Just email it to you, okay.
And, his name is Lincoln? Okay. One of these looks familiar, but maybe.
Are you picking up camp
Can
cards
you put
tonight?
your email address there and I'll send you back copies of it?
Okay, I want to buy 3 for the troop. Well, they. Okay, so let me know.
No, I have questions because I want to make it interactive.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, and I'll email you that other one.
Okay, I'm going to ask everyone to settle in. I know, but I'm. Okay, we want to talk about spring recruitment. And really, we want to make this really a discussion. So I always start with like easy questions, which is just show of hands. How many of the leaders in here want more youth in scouts? Just raise your hands. Okay. How many of you guys have a recruiting plan for spring? Anybody? Awesome. He's my first victim. I do too. So I'm going to ask a question. How many scouts would you like to join outside of AOL crossovers in the spring?
Our troop?
Your troop. How do you think about that?
I don't know. We're shooting for. We want 15 total, and I think we're getting about 10 or 11 prior to that. So it'd be good to get another 4.
So 4.
Beyond what we already
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. No. I love it. For the adults in here, how many of you who were in Scouts as youth were in Cub Scouts? How many of you were never in Cub Scouts, but were in Scouts? So let's be super honest. Cub Scouts are our main feeder, but we get some really excited. We get people like me who are really bad Cub Scouts. I was not a good Cub Scout. It was not my thing. But sometimes Cub Scouts deters really good youth from being Scouts. So we have to go out to them again at age 10, 11, 12 and say, we're offering something really different. It's not what Cub Scouts is. It's truly a leadership program. And I always talk to people about, like, what's your goal? What's your number? Because of the way I like to think about this is, I like your number. I like 4. My number for non-crossovers is 3. Because I love getting youth that are not in Scouts into Scouts. And then my next question is, what's your plan? So how many of you guys have something cool that your troop is doing between now and the end of May? Raise your hands. Just something cool. How often do you invite the community to it? Just ask your parent. Like, I'll be super honest. We did last year. I had 2 new scouts, and I'll use this as an example, and we're going to go around and talk about some ideas. I had 2 scouts join my troop because we decided to launch off model rockets. Kids built model rockets. We gave out kits. We had a day at the park. We had 4 people come visit us from where families just shared in their neighborhood Facebook groups or next door. We also had 3 kids. They didn't join my troop. They joined another troop in Parker. I'm not saucy about this at all. But but they got into Scouts. And I'm not always, like, the thing I'll tell you, I'm not always the right troop for everybody. I'm okay with that. I want kids in Scouts because it's like going to your favorite Mexican restaurant. They're all a little bit different, but they're all serving good food. Yes, sir.
Can I throw out, so on that, I guess I should. And on that note, if they don't join your unit, always, in my opinion, you always leave it with, awesome, I'm glad you have a place to go, I'm glad you're still involved in Scouts. If you ever change your mind or things change and you want to come back to us, we're more than happy to have you, but we're just happy you're still going to be continuing your journey in Scouting.
Wholly agree. So here's where I'll start with your challenge. If you want to get more kids in, if you want to get more people into your troop, we have to invite them. So the question, I always think of it as just do 2 events. Two good meetings. If you're planned out far enough, invite people to a meeting, invite people, if you're going to go do swim checks or do something at the pool, invite them to come hang out at the pool. The BMX day, by the way, don't even try. Jarrett Reese is amazing. He does a bunch of stuff like set up the BMX day. Use that. Leverage anything that's good out there. Now that's the setup that I want to go to. I'm going to turn it over to Eric to talk a little bit about like some of the things some other troops have done. But I also want to turn this into like a real brainstorming session. What do you think is exciting that would help someone else get in there? Let me give it to Eric real quick, and then I'll come to you.
Okay, well, sorry, I don't have as many prepared remarks. As far as exciting, a lot of it is just kind of what BSA already teaches. Be that culture, be that troop, have the activities, but as we have to say, have that greeter chairman, whether it's an official position or not. Just make sure that you have an ASM or an active parent so that when the new families come in, greet them. Don't let them just kind of wander in and go to the corner, and the same with the scouts. Make sure you have scouts looking out for the other scouts, because they don't want to see you as the scout leader. They want to talk to the scouts. They want to talk to the patrol leader. They want to talk to the SPLs. And so you need to make sure that you have that culture within your troop of greeting and friendliness, both the adults and the youth. If you just target one, you're going to lose both, and you need both in order to be successful. And that's where it comes through as well. Again, that culture. You can't have one person or one leader that does everything. Share the wealth. Recruit more. Ask for help. And as far as keeping that culture, it's training. As we mentioned earlier, whether it's your adults in Wood Badge, the more that they're trained and experienced, they're going to bring that excitement and that culture to your troop, directly and or indirectly. And for the youth, NYLT. The more they're trained in NYLT or active in the OA, you know what that does? That helps retain your older scouts. And they're not just there to just work with the younger scouts, but by working with the younger scouts are going to get excited and they're going to stay. But you have to make sure that you hit all levels, not just one. Yes, Mariana.
Thank you. And this is just, I'm thinking out loud. For those who don't know me, I am a migrant. I'm Mexican. And this is where I found I belonged. This is your mine, your gold mine. You are in Highlands Ranch and Parker, where 10% of the population, even if you don't believe it, is Hispanic. We are everywhere, and you can't tell us apart because not all of us are brown. That is your gold mine. Make those connections with the Hispanic kids because they are thirsty for belonging. If you can get them to belong to Scouts, you'll have a whole community to share all your principles with, and they will share theirs with you. And you will enrich the troop in such a big level that it's something that nobody has tapped on until now. And I'm just giving you the suggestion because Black Feather is my favorite.
Thank you, Mariana. And it's a perfect tie-in, right, to exactly all that. Create that community. If you just have an island, no one else is going to want to come to it. But when you have that community, whatever it is or however it's defined, that's how you're going to expand that community, by making it that community. And the only other last thing I'd like to go in to tag onto that is the activities. It's good to have troop activities. Definitely tag on to the district and or the council activities. I know way back when I lost most of my Cub Scout pack or den in crossover because I couldn't get them to come to the fall camporee. Every scout from my den that went to that fall camporee with the troop, they got so excited, had so much fun, it was a no-brainer. They definitely crossed over. So the more you can get them involved in your troop, that's how you're going to retain. You know, you want to get some of the new middle scouts, but you're going to lose a lot of Cub Scouts if you're not getting them active. And especially as they start to get older, they get kind of bored with some of the Cub Scout stuff. They need to see that we're out there doing RATA, doing the shooting sports. We're out there camping. We're out having fun. We're doing all kinds of stuff outdoors. So what are some of the things that you guys are doing?
So my unit, I was the Scoutmaster for, is the unit that Heath is now the Scoutmaster for. And we do an open house where we invite all the packs, the feeding packs to come. And it's really fun. We haven't done it in a little while, but we had kids that went to sea base. So we would get scuba equipment from Planet Scuba in Castle Rock and set it up and show the kids how it worked as one of the stations. We would have a tenting station, show them how to set up a tent. We'd have a first aid station, and then as each patrol was showing the Cub Scouts the different stations, we had the parents meeting with the SPL, the patrol leader, not SPL and the ASPL, to kind of ask questions about the unit, and that was always really popular. Oh, and we make donuts. That is always super popular. Out of the biscuit dough and a bag of cinnamon sugar and a pot of hot frying oil that the adults run. So there you go.
Okay, I did something mean. I'm sorry. I'll apologize. One thing I do have is I have lots of blue paper. It's the same color as a blue card. I take all my scouting notes on blue paper. That's so when I leave them scattered around my house, my wife can put them in the right spot and I can find them. So that's why it's blue paper. But more seriously, I gave everyone a sheet of blue paper so you can hold on to it. But I'm going to ask you to write down a couple things, because there's science. Once you write it down in your own handwriting, you're more likely to get it done. So my ask for you is number one, and it all varies on size of troop. How many non-crossovers do you want to join your troop before June this year? What's that number? How many what? Non-AOL crossovers. People who are brand new to scouting to join a scout troop. What's that? What's your number? And you don't hear me, I'm a compliance guy by training, so I'm starting to sound like a sales guy. Ross is like eyeballing me. He's like 10, 7, 3, 1, close. But I literally think about it this way. If I know I want to have 2 people who have never been in scouting join my troop, then I turn it to how many events am I going to invite people to? So if the number's 5, if the number's 3, the number's 27, how many events are you going to host? Are you going to host 1? Are you going to host 2? Are you going to host 3? And remember, this doesn't have to be anything new. This can be come to our meeting. This can be, have you thought about summer camp for your kids and scout summer camp for your kids? I've had in the past, I've had youth join scouting for summer camp, and like the parents told me that they thought it was a phenomenal idea that they went to summer camp, and scout summer camp's a really good financial deal. Killian fell in love with scouts because of that. There was no intent for that kid to continue. Ended up becoming an Eagle Scout. So how are you going to get them to come join you? And then the next thing I'm going to ask you to write down is what events do you want to do? How many kids? How many new youth are you going to introduce to scouting? How many events do you want to hold to invite them to? And then what are they? And this is me. Like if I don't write things down, they don't happen. But that's my question to each of you as you're thinking about how do we help youth come into scouting? Now, let me ask, I will tell you, there's all sorts of things you can do. Who has a really cool event that they already know their scouts have planned? Can we just share what they are? Because I don't have a monopoly on good ideas. And given there's currently a stage 1 fire ban, I don't think rockets is going to happen this year. I'm just going to own that. But I know we'll do a swimming event. Over in Parker, there's both H2 O'Brien and the Indoor Parker Rec Center that we'll invite people to. Does anyone else have anything cool they're going to do this spring? Go for it, Ross.
We're doing skateboarding next month, so we're going to be at the skate park for the last meeting in April.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love it. I might want to come. Can I come? Absolutely. Okay, awesome. I can't skate. It'll be a broken leg, but it'll be hilarious. I don't think any of my scouts can. Eric, what have you seen that's been just cool as an event? I will put everyone on the spot.
To be honest, I'll go to the opposite. I mean, I think when you're trying to get the new people that aren't experienced in scouting, you want something big and flashy, and there's a million opportunities out there. But when you're trying to retain and or get the Cub Scouts to cross over, be real. Don't do the special one-off troop meeting just to meet them at their level. Show them what they're coming to. Show them what a real meeting looks like. I mean, maybe don't do citizenship in the nation, but show them what a real meeting's like. Let them laugh and play with the older scouts. It could just be knots and lashings. It could be a merit badge. It doesn't always have to be totally flashy, but you want to show them what it's going to be like.
And that's, for our troop, we try to have at least one fun activity every single meeting. Sometimes we do MYLT games and stuff, we call it, but any of those things and stuff. But we've had people coming to pretty much every single one of our meetings. We want to make sure that anybody who's visiting is having a good time. The other thing is I always make sure that our troop guide immediately is introduced to them. He assigns a mentor to each of the scouts, and those scouts take them around and introduce them and make them be involved and feel like they're part of the troop. That's one of the biggest things for getting them to actually join, I think.
So I love that. One thing that I highly recommend anyone do, and I think if you're at Roundtable, you probably already do this, but generally speaking, the first person to recognize that there's a new kid there is one of the adults, right? Like you generally know who's in your troop, and you recognize someone's not in uniform. Introduce yourself. But then I wholly agree. Introduce them to a scout, and ask the scout to introduce them to everyone else, because kids stay in scouts because they have friends. They pick their troop, whether they're crossovers or non-crossovers, by who they get along with. And if they're not getting along with the group or they don't feel welcome, that's a big difference. And there's a range in size of troops. For some families, when they come and visit one of our bigger troops, one of our 50, 60 scout troops, that's overwhelming. And sometimes when you're a smaller troop, the question is, how do you explain what's going on? And when you're a mid-sized troop, you're like, how many my scouts are showing up tonight? Do I have 5 or do I have 15? I think that's one of the things. But you're absolutely right. You can do something flashy, but they're not going to join just after coming to one event. They're going to come to a meeting. They're going to see if they like it. It's a process. It's about a 4-week process from first interest to actually signing up. Because even if parents are gung-ho kids going to be in scouts, they're going to find the right troop. And I think that's the other thing for us all to remember. So the question is, how do we get them in there?
So I have a question for you guys. You talk all about the kids, what you're doing to get the kids to like it. How much effort do you have to put in to get the parent to like it who doesn't have any experience with scouting? And what do you tell them?
You want to take this one first, or you want me to? Okay, I'll go first. First, I ask them how much they know about scouts. I don't make assumptions. Like some parents, yes, sir.
Everything I know about scouts has been broadcast through the media over the last 5 years.
So my answer to that is every organization that was around in the 1960s, 50s, 60s, and 70s had similar youth protection issues. Every organization. And the ones that kept better records, you hear more about, because it's really hard to prove things happen when you don't have records. Scouts kept good records to try to keep kids safe. That did not always work well for them, but that's like a sort of a lean back legal analysis of it. What I will turn around and tell you is every adult leader here goes through a criminal background check They go through youth safeguarding, and I'll even ask you as a parent to take the same training so you know what I expect, but there'll be no one-on-one contact or anything of that nature. And more importantly, let me tell you about how Scouts work. And let me tell you how this troop works. Because my troop and your troop, I know, work differently. And that's okay because, and I happen to know his troop, I happen to know Ross's troop better than some of the other ones. That's okay because they work differently. I can tell you how this one works, and if you don't like it, if there's something here you don't like but you still like Scouts, I'll go help you find another troop.
I would just say, don't assume that they're talking about our lawsuit. So
Yeah.
follow up with a question if they say, well, I've only heard, it could be what Hexus just talked about,
Yep.
right? So don't make assumptions. So, oh, what have you heard in the media? Before you go down a path that you didn't even need to go down.
I'm sorry, I'm a compliance guy. I always go to the worst possible.
I think the Boy Scout program, especially with their merit badges, is an incredibly good program. It teaches self-discipline. It teaches personal growth. And, oh, by the way, the public schools just realized that, oh, we have high school graduates that don't know how to balance a checkbook. So they're having a personal finance class now in the high schools. How long has the Boy Scouts had a personal finance merit badge?
But the one gentle reminder I'll give is it's Scouting America. Because, and I, you know, it's something that my daughter reminds me of. Anytime I say Boy Scout, she says I'm not a boy. We have boys troops, girls troops, and family troops. And I think that's something that we need to, trust me, she's trained me. So that's one of the things where I think it's just, this is a really neat program. And I think you're right, Ross, like, well, what have you heard? Because there's new stuff in the news now. We just, by the way, if you didn't see it, we just rolled out a military service military service awareness merit badge in the test lab. It's brand new as of today. Super cool. And
we're paying for military, that's part of the agreement,
Yeah.
is we're subsidizing youth, military affiliated youth.
Actually, I've heard something a little different, so I'd love if someone has the official story. What? Yeah, we have scouting alumni and veterans who said that they will cover the cost, I think, for the next decade, but of any of military affiliated youth, but I don't know what that definition actually means.
You're right. I'm sure it's privately subsidized.
Yeah.
And that was actually in process before
Yep.
this stuff happened. But it's,
Yep.
it's neat. And
Yep,
It's nice.
it's a very, so short answer is, and that's another pitch for, we do have a large military community here. If someone's in the military, it's a, look, I think if you ever talk to anyone about the financial costs of scouting, it's a deal. Because occasionally you'll have parents ask you about that. I don't know, the number I say is, and I hear ranges, depending on if you have paid everything out of pocket that a troop did in general, like everything, and you did everything, it generally comes to under $2,000 a year. That's summer camp, you guys do whitewater rafting, like you do a couple big, you do a ski weekend in there, you do, like, there's 4 of them that drive half that cost, and the rest of it's pretty inexpensive. But I share that.
But most competitive sports are running 3,000 to 5,000, and that's before traveling anywhere. And we're competing with them.
So so what else would help you, like, so what else have you seen that's helped you bring in new youth? Does anyone have anything exciting or just a fun story? I will call on you. I'm going to call on you. You're here. You're next.
It's not fun or exciting, but one of the things that's really been successful for us so far this year is leveraging the recruitment, like the self-recruiter, right? So getting their friends from school, even my niece is now interested in it, right? So having the scouts bring their friends, and then they get the special patch, right? So that's been very, very successful for us so far this year.
And then how do you make sure that they're welcome? If they're getting inviting, do you do a special meeting? Do you have a greeter, or just by that connection?
It's everything you guys talked about. So it's making sure that we partner them up with another scout. As the ASM, I'm making sure that I talk to the parents and make sure we connect. So it's all that very basic stuff to make it work.
Thank you for giving me the chance. I was at this table with US Bank. It was a fundraiser, and I was at the table with a 30-something white guy and a 30-something Hispanic guy from the same neighborhood. And of course, the white guy was, of course, I was a Cub Scout. I remember the Pinewood Derby. Of course, and the Hispanic guy was like, yeah, I knew there were scouts in my school, but I always knew that wasn't for me. Why? That is just why. This is why we're doing things. If you get these families to just come and taste a little bit of what you do, it's St. Patrick's Day coming. There you go, mine.
Yeah, no, I think the short answer, and look, you wouldn't be here at Roundtable, you wouldn't be watching the Roundtable live stream if you weren't already engaged and believing this works. But I think we have to remember to be welcoming. Now, I did call on this table, so you don't get out, but you guys get to rock, paper, scissors for who's going to tell the story.
So we've actually been struggling recruiting new members in. We had a very large den come crossover early to join our troop, which was excellent. But I think what happened was they left their pack too soon. And then we saw that pack really suffer from not having that older age group for some of those scouts to look into. So what we've been trying to do, we do get a couple of visitors. We've actually been trying to reach back out to the packs and make ourselves available for their meetings and just bring some of our really active scouts to try and help them increase their presence and become more familiar with us. So we're kind of touching base with scouts that are a little bit younger, not ready to cross over yet, but we're trying to help re-energize the packs so that then we all have more feeders in. Because we know we're not the best fit for everybody, but at least then we're all kind of connecting with those youth that want to be or that are not touched yet and part of what we're trying to do. So.
Do you have, or have you offered den chiefs
Yes.
to any of the packs?
We have a den chief with one of the packs, but again, just trying to help train them with flags, show them all of the cool OA bling, everything, because they get really excited to see all the patches, everything, all the loopies. We even talked through, hey, here's the cool place that we went on this weekend camp out, and here's where we're going next. So trying to get that more, it's a little bit easier with our scouts to kind of reach out to the elementary age, and then kind of training them, okay, now it's okay to go talk to your other friends in middle school and in high school and see if they're looking for another friend group, because we know it's absolutely about, are they trying to find that friend group that maybe they don't have? Right, and so making ourselves just a little bit more open to that. So, story.
Okay, let's talk briefly about resources. I've talked a lot about like using your own parents and everything. Just show of hands, how many people here know that council will print stuff for you? Council will print stuff for you. Council will give you yard signs. So if you go into their recruiting side, they will give you as many as you want. Jim while it's not legal advice, generally right-of-ways alongside the streets in front of schools are not protected space, so you can put them there. If you want to put them in the pickup and drop-off line, I recommend just calling the schools. I've done it in Parker for recruiting events, and we rent a room at the Parker Library, which is free, by the way. Like when I say I rent, I reserve a room. But I've called all the schools, and as long as you give them enough notice, say, look, I want to put it up a week before, and I'll take it down the day after. Council will give you as many yard signs as you want. They're reusable, so like they'll reprint the thing, the labels each year for you, and they'll give you more as well, because they have a lot of them. I have a stack sitting in my garage that they still look really good, and I'm on year 3 of reusing them because I don't want them back, and I don't want like throwing things away. But flyers, buddy cards. So like if you want your scouts to invite a friend to an event, they can print a buddy card. They can sit them out. You know, if your troop meets at a church and you're not really deeply integrated in that church, talk to the youth pastor. We are an adjacent program for what the church is trying to deliver. And here's the thing. People are really nice to scouts. Like if they're going to tell you no, they're going to tell you no, they're going to tell everybody no. So that's one of those places where when you're thinking about how to reach out, that's just the way to go about it. And right now, like I keep hearing from our district executives and from recruiting, there's also a national spring recruitment webinar that just got recorded and released, which is out there as a resource for you. But spring recruitment is for Scouting America, for the 11 to 18-year-old program, is actually more effective than fall recruitment. Like the stats that National runs, more new, like not crossovers, but more new kids join in the spring. I have no idea. I don't claim to know these things. Look, I'm giving you what I got. Some of it is the events that they were in for the past year are coming to the end. So you're on the front end of next year. The other thing is, let's be super honest, summer camp is super exciting to a lot of parents. If I get a kid who his only scouting experience ever is going to summer camp and they have fun, I'm good with that too. Summer camp changes lives. By the way, is every troop in here going to summer camp? Anyone not going to summer camp? Can I help you? You're going to summer camp. I already know that.
And royalty.
But those are big things. Yes, sir.
Really getting expensive. Like really expensive for families, especially AOL crossovers that join in February to be expected to pay $500 in April.
Yep.
For summer camp in June or July. And I don't know what we can do about it, but I mean, it is an issue.
It's still way less expensive than going to any other week on summer.
Yep.
By like a third.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Non-scouting.
Yeah. I mean, look, day camp, I hear that argument. I hear it's expensive. Like day camps day camps where it's not overnight are $500. So this is an overnight adventure. And here's the other thing, and let's just be super honest, we don't use enough of this. If you have a family who has need, we offer scholarships. Campership, yes, campership. So I don't use the word campership because parents have no idea what that means. If we'll offer you a scholarship, it's generally half off, right? So if anyone's worried about it, and Jack Lotes, our camp director, will work with any family. He's a big believer that summer camp's too important to miss, so we'll make it work.
And the key is to start promoting it early too. So this, as soon as you get in front of if the Cub Scouts coming forward, the sooner they know that they can come in and help sell cards or other fundraising activities to help pay for that as well. That'll help them offset the costs.
Now, the question I don't know, and Asher's disappeared, last year for non-AOL crossovers, for new to Scouts, last year they actually offered 50% off summer camp. Or instead of it being $500, it was $300 or $275. So it's in, what? Oh, no, yeah, Jack, yeah. Jack regrettably has me on text, like I have his personal text phone, so he's in trouble. But what else, Eric? I feel like I'm talking too much.
Oh, it's perfect. This is supposed to be also, like I say, kind of a roundtable. So if anyone else has any thoughts or questions, what do you think that you're doing that's going well? What do you think that has been kind of bombing? We're kind of here as a resource as well. Luckily you're more boots to the ground. I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've been to a troop meeting at a different stage, but I've seen a lot of things in the past. And this, like I say, the same things still work. Just that open relationship, get in front of it, and invite.
Yeah, so I have
Share
a question
numbers.
on that. So Clay, you want to get 3 new kids.
Yes.
How many invitations does it take to get 3?
Last year I ended up with 4 new kids, never involved in scouting, 2 events. I wasn't even at one of them, only 2 invites.
I don't know how many kids, so did you, so you approached 5 kids to get 3 or 10 kids?
I didn't keep, I'm not in sales, so I don't keep metrics that way. I know what Ross is doing to me. He's like 10, 3, 1.
You gotta talk to this many people to get this many.
Well, I'll tell. So, I think we had. So roughly, from what I understand, we had over 2 events and 1 meeting where we invited friends and other people. We had about 10 people show up. We had 4 people join. So I'll take those numbers because getting youth into Scouts is important. Yes. Absolutely. I don't have I have only half the good ideas. Everyone else has the other half.
Well, I am in development in council, and I have been introduced to the skill of telling a story. And this will be also how you, Scoutmasters, raise your hand. How many Scoutmasters do we have? 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is how you can get kids in. Tell a story. Tell a success story. I love the story of this guy, 16 years old, 17 years old. He was working at camp as a CIT, and he went to Home Depot for his first interview ever at a job because CIT wasn't paying. And he was like, well, this is my first interview. This is my first job. I don't know if I'm going to give you the right answers. The only thing I can say about myself when they asked about him is, I am an Eagle Scout. Say no more. You are hired. Just like that. Tell stories like that. I have like 4 or 5 different stories to tell to people about scouting, that it's just what you do, the results of the program, and what those results can do for your kid. When you tell people what we can do for your kid, is how you get them.
Okay, so this is a recruiting story where you're recruiting for the next class after this year. When you do your crossover, load it up. Have a lot of kids there to receive the new Scouts. We're really good about this for 873. We actually give them a notebook to track all their stuff. We give them, we used to give them a hat. I don't know if we still do anymore, a little like winter beanie. We give them a neckerchief woggle. What else do we give them? Anything else? Is that it? Numbers and epaulets.
White notebook, which tells the adults a lot of information that they need to know about our culture and how we do stuff. This kind of quick reference guide also has a place for all of their merit badges and their rank stuff, everything that they need.
Cooking tips
that helps.
camping, cooking.
Yeah, a uniform guide and stuff that some of the stuff's in the book, some of it isn't, some of it's specific to our unit, and some of it's not. But it's really useful for the new parents to coming in to kind of have a reference, and the new scouts to have some of their questions answered that might not have been answered in other stuff. I don't know.
And the reason I bring this up is what an impression you've made for the future AOL scouts when they see your kids get loaded down with all this cool stuff and receive such a warm welcome, where the next class, what?
Activity shirt too, so yeah.
And an activity shirt, where the next class sees, oh, well, that could be me. I think it makes a huge difference, and that's what I wanted to mention is if you have that really warm welcome, then you're planting the seeds for the next class next year.
I love that. And I have two asks, because once you talk, I start asking for things. Wayne is going to get tasked with something. Can we get a copy of your welcome packet? Who else has a welcome packet that they give to scouts? To give to crossovers? Can we get a copy of it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Can we get a copy of yours as well? Whatever you give when new scouts cross over, because I have one. I'm not crazy. I didn't write it. I inherited it. I'll be super honest. I'm not crazy about it, but I'm convinced that other people have done it better than me. Well, so I have two troops, at least two troops here that have welcome packets. I want to essentially upload our welcome packets to some shared place for the district. So if I want to steal some of their stuff and they want to steal some of my stuff, we just get a better welcome packet at the end of the day. Yeah. So the other question I have, so you're interested in interesting things because I've seen different troops do different things. So how do you fund everything you just gave to the scouts?
There's just enough in the, I mean, we have.
It's built into the dues.
Yeah, so we have.
So they've already paid you dues before they.
Yeah.
Well, generally, but otherwise we'll get it when they.
Okay, because I've heard from some troops, and particularly smaller troops, here's the risks that they have if they do that. If I give you your book, that's $35. Give you a neckerchief, that's another $25. I'm loading you up with about $120 worth of stuff. If I'm an 8-person troop and I do that for 6 scouts and 4 of them don't show up, that's a hurt on my budget. So that's why I'm trying to.
Well, and we're talking, the white book we're talking about is a binder with printed paper in it, not
Okay.
necessarily those scouts. So the costs are not as great, but I think it's valid.
Right, and I'm.
Our colors, we actually spend about $15 on them. When we started doing our copies at Arapahoe County Libraries, for every library card you have at Arapahoe Counties, you can get 200 color copies a day, so if you and your husband or wife, and your kid all have things, you can go in and get 600 copies, and they print double-sided and stuff, and it definitely reduces the cost. It's really high quality, so that's in any of the Arapahoe County libraries. It's not that with Douglas County, but it is with any of the Arapahoe. And you don't have to live in the county to get a card there, so you just have to go to one of your nearest branch, but that's really cool.
No, I asked because you guys have a larger troop, right? Trust me, no one has the ability to absorb cost, but I want to, it's a different concern.
I mentioned woggles. We make them by parachute cord. They're like a quarter a piece. It's cheaper than the little metal thing you could buy.
Yep, no, and that's a time and, it's, how many of you guys have let me ask a different question. How many troops have either a new scout coordinator or a recruiting coordinator? How many? I'm going to come over because, How does it work?
Well, we're a smaller troop, so we all wear different hats. So like I'm the advancement chair, but I'm also in charge of onboarding all the new cubs. And our scoutmaster is also our recruiter.
Okay.
So we just work closely together to get people in. Yep.
So question, does it ever become exhausting?
No, because we're passionate about it.
Okay. No, I just always ask, right? Like, because sometimes it's going to become exhausting to somebody. And then my question is, how do you help them out? You guys also said you had someone.
Yeah, we have a.
Yeah, so actually, Shelley is our new member coordinator, and yeah, helps introduce people around and helps get them started. We also have a new what do you call it? I guess a new scout patrol, and we have a patrol mentor specifically set aside for that. And we also have in spring we always have a Merit Badge College where we have one of the sessions is advancement for those first couple ranks, and we get them started on physical fitness so they can start earning a lot of those things that are concurrent and get their first Eagle required merit badge. And then we have our, we call it our March Extravaganza, where they get fireman chit, totem chip and all that stuff, and a lot of those other initial requirements they need for first ranks and stuff. So we do a lot of these to get them started out so they actually get some momentum when they're growing.
Do that just.
So we had four, we have 4 to 5 like permanent patrols. The new scout patrol is a temporary one. They start there and then they get sorted into the permanent patrols at the spring Court of Honor. So
We're up to 8 patrols now. But,
okay.
So we have 5 regular patrols plus the new scout patrol, which is only a temporary one for a month or so. And then we have 2, technically 3 senior patrols. But yeah.
Do you link an adult, specifically an experienced adult, with them?
Yeah, we have patrol mentors for every patrol. Well, we might not right now, but it's because we just added a bunch of them. I'm still working on getting enough, but yeah, we always have a patrol mentor.
So I love it. You've, by the way, you've hit on one of the most controversial topics in Scouting America and in the Scouts BSA program, new scout patrols. So how many troops use new scout patrols? So we have 2. I'm violently opposed to new scout patrols.
It's a very short period.
No, I know. I'm just still violent. Like but that's actually one of the things that you'll have parents ask you about. No, I'm violently opposed. Yeah, no. Because one of the questions that they're worried about, that we'll hear from parents, is, and this is just a place where you need to be able to explain. Are you using age-based patrols? So you have all your, and I know you're not, but like some troops will have an age-based. The patrols are essentially age-based, so they'll have their sort of 14 and 15-year-olds together, and they'll just age with them. And other troops do mixed age patrols, and I think that's just something you need to be ready to. There's not a right or wrong answer, like I described. It's like your favorite restaurant. This all serving good food. It's just how it's prepared. I will own that's my weakness, and I'll own that I dislike them. But that's only because I think it's a really good selling point when we talk about part of the way our older scouts gets leadership is through the mixed age patrol. And I understand you guys do it just as a jump start, but.
Right, so we just switched to the way that we're doing now because we had huge patrols. We had patrols with 18 scouts in them, which is a problem. That's too big. So, but what I did is I tried to mix up all of them so there's a good variety. The reason we did the senior patrols is because they want to be able to branch off and do stuff. One of them is their venturing patrol, so they're part of a venturing crew, and they can branch off. But when we do activities, I assign 1 or 2 of each of the venturing crew, or SPL does, to each of the younger patrols to help with that mentorship. And with the new scouts, while we're doing activities, they spread off and are mixed among the patrols because we want them to get to know the other patrols so they can see which patrol they may want to go into when they're there. The reason we have this new scout patrol is so that our patrol mentor for that can help make sure they're getting some of the requirements done and they know what's going on and they're not just all in different directions at the same time. So there's still a lot of intermixing and stuff, but we like to have a variety and a good balance within each patrol.
Oh, no, and holy, we've been in enough camporees and other campouts. But remember, there are some troops where it's age-based, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if you run into this, but it seems like sometimes with that track, doing it that way, you run into problems where kids fall out of scouting and there's nobody left in the patrol, so you kind of have to mix them in anyway.
So that actually happened to us, we just reorganized, but we've received feedback from people who had visited that, because we thought the age-based patrols was great, especially when we had a big den that crossed over because they knew each other. We were able to integrate some from, outside of that den together, and it works well for a little while. And then what we're finding is, as we're starting to lose them as they go into high school, and so we get one person from the whole patrol showing up, and then it's just a weird mix, so we just cross-integrate them. I think it's going to go better, and the parents that we had come visit and some of the scouts that we had come visit were really excited that they had more of a one-on-one relationship with the older scouts versus the new ones just trying to figure it out somewhat on their own. So,
go for it.
On this age-based patrol thing, and like Clay said, there's no right or wrong way, but having a child scout who's special needs and had intellectual disabilities, it was really hard for him to be in an age-based patrol because the kids just didn't have the maturity level to handle him. So if you have a kid crossing over or a new scout that has intellectual disabilities or some type of special needs or learning, it might be better for him or her to be in an older, more matured patrol. Just something to think about.
Or sometimes you run in with a 15-year-old who needs to be in a 12-year, with a bunch of 12-year-olds. We're talking about my child, so I can say that. But the other thing, here's the other thing, like I would tell everyone here, like and you're at this round table, so scouting's for everyone. I want, I'm not really worried about this group, but I just want you to sit with that for a second. Scouting's for everyone. It can be hard, but we can make it work. And sometimes from some scouts, that means I'm going to ask the parents for a little bit more help. There are things I don't know how to do, but we will make it work because every youth deserves scouting. And a trained leader. And a trained leader. And a trained leader. But every youth, we'll get to the trained leader. Let's get all the kids in scouting first. But it's one of those things I would tell you as you're recruiting, you'll have parents ask you, how will you deal with my kid's medicine? How, my kid has anxiety about being alone or sleeping in a tent with someone or, and I think for any of us who have been leaders for a while, the answer is one, not the first time I've done this. I know I'm not a professional caregiver, I'm not an educator. Those are not my skill sets. I can tell you about the rules and tell you about what's in the guide to safe scouting and when my personal favorite rule in scouting is if someone's not in Cub Scouts and they want to go on a overnight camp out with a troop, they're able to join. They're allowed to, and you don't have to follow blue rules. But if they are in Cub Scouts, you have to follow blue rules, which tells you I'm too much of a compliance person because I've read it that closely. But what I would tell you is, if you run into, you'll have parents ask you those questions. And the answer is, I recommend, look, the thing I also tell most parents is 1 in 4 youth has some form of disability. I mean, that's just the God honest math. Own it. And a lot of them are invisible. Yeah, a lot of them you're not gonna, a lot of the kids you see running around, you're not going to know that they're on some sort of medication, they have any number of other things. You're going to look in this room and everyone thinks everyone's kid is special. And they're worried about their individual kid. And sometimes just let them go run around with the kids and just see what happens, and we'll stand back and watch. And that's the other thing to tell the parents, which is your kid having, look, my message to my scouts, and I tell every scoutmaster and every adult leader to figure out your own personal philosophy. I want kids to have fun. I want kids to come back, and I want them to learn something along the way. And my scouts have heard me say that for the past 5 years, because everything else, like, if they're having fun and they want to come back, everything else will happen. And if you can articulate that to parents, that's another way to say it. The other thing that you're going to run into, and I think this is one of the ways we're marketing ourselves, and I won't get this exactly right, but scouting is supplemental. We meet parents where they are, we meet kids wherever they are. How many of you kids, I've had in my troop 3 state champion wrestlers. I don't see them from November to March. 2 of them are Eagle Scouts, or 2 of them earned Eagle Scouts, but they disappeared. And they disappear. And I think that's something, look, if scouting's your primary event, is your kid going to rank up faster? Yes. But that doesn't mean it's not one season. This is a program from 10 to 18. And that's another thing to remind people.
To your point, so to that point, in my unit, we have kids involved in athletics, in band, and, DECA, other activities. So what we tell them is, while you're in season, don't pick up a leadership position where you're not going to be able to dedicate the time it takes to support that position. So they're not going to be the patrol leader during that season, or the senior patrol leader. They might take on other roles that they could still do while they're doing activities, but we just ask them not to take on something that wouldn't get the attention it deserved. Thank you.
We all have these kids who say, or parents who say, oh, but no, I don't have time. My kid is in sports. My kid is in soccer. My kid is in wrestling. My kid is in swimming. Yes, those are athletes, and they're swimmers, they're wrestlers, they're football players. Scouting is something you become, and that is the difference.
And the other thing that I keep on thinking about is when I was a scoutmaster, a good example actually goes to my son, where he was looking at a college, and I showed him the entrance criteria of Colorado School of Mines. He looked at me and said, "Thanks for ruining my day." I said, "No, you're smart. You can do this." He ended up going to mines. He did do it. With our scouts, we have to give them the encouragement and say, yes, you can do it. You meet them where you're at, but you're also encouraging them. I always said when I was a Cub Master, I was the kid's biggest cheerleader. I had a kid walking in one time, and it was his birthday, and I happened to know it. We stopped the meeting, and we sang him happy birthday. It meant something to him. If you do something that helps them, bring it home to them, they'll stay longer. We are out of time. I've just gotten my signal, but I'll let you guys finish up, and then.
Well, hold on. Not yet. So here's my ask. Blue sheet of paper.
Let him finish.
The more you talk, the longer I take. The blue sheets of paper, please take them home with you. If nothing more, you'll know they're scouting because they're the same color as blue cards. But look at what you have on your calendar, and just ask, if it's not your skill set, ask ChatGPT or ask one of your leaders to write up just a little Facebook blurb that you can ask your parents to send out to invite people in your community to come join you on something. And here's the issue. Even if no one shows up, that's okay too. It's completely okay. I've had recruiting events where no one shows up, and I've had recruiting events where 20 people show up. I still only had 4 people join last year. So but just remember, if you make an impact on one kid's life through scouting, all the recruiting efforts are worth it. Okay, now I'm done.
You're ADC.
Let's get together for closing circle. Well, it'll not be exactly a circle. It'll be sort of be a.
It will be an oval.
A-shape. Right over left. Right hand. We'll leave space. And speaking of recruiting, yes, we do have room for more scouts always. And shouters, indeed. Scouts, we become some adults who ultimately become scouts. We can get them to, anyways, I'll say it once and we'll create Scoutmaster, Boy Scouts, with us, at us, again. Great Scoutmaster, all Scouts, be with us, guide us, until we meet again. Nice Scouters, see you again, next week.
At the awards dinner.